How's everybody doing? We're back again with another video, and in this video I will be showing you how to clean a 1911 pistol. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to say this is how I do it. So if you don't do it this way, that's fine, but I just want to give people an idea on how to do it. These aren't as simple to break down as a Glock, and they're more finicky when you don't maintain them. So it's very important that you keep them maintained. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to clear it. Yep, it's really gritty because I haven't cleaned it since the last time I shot it. So yeah. So anyway, so that you make sure it's clear. Let's get the mag out. You get your CLP or cleaner, right? Get your brushes and all that. This is a 9mm brush, but this will work just fine for the bore of a 45. It's a little small, but that's not a big deal. Works for me. I got a cut up t-shirt, an old t-shirt that I use for like a rag. And that's it. So we'll get started. Now, first step when to disassemble this gun, okay? First step is to put your thumb, you got the barrel bushing here, right? Or the bushing, and then you got the guide rod right here. So you press in the guide rod as far as you can do it, and then start turning the bushing clockwise. So you might have to, yeah, you turn it, keep your finger over the guide rod when you do this, okay? Keep your finger over it. I'll do your thumb. And you pull like that. There we go. And you keep and let the spring come out like that. You keep your finger over it because this thing will shoot out if you don't do that because it's under spring tension. So now, once you do that, you could set this to the side actually. Once you do that, what you're going to do is you see this little notch right here. You're going to line that notch up back here with the slide style lever. So you'll see that little notch. There's this notch, the big notch, and the little one. The little one, you take the slide, you pull it back, push it back like this. Okay, I should have just pulled the hammer back, but yeah, just put the hammer back, it'll make it easier. But you pull it back until it lines up right about there. So let me get it on camera. So you see how the notch lines up with the slide stop lever. So then you push from this side, this right here, push that, and then it'll come out like that. You pull it, that, take this out, this piece, and now you took the slide stop lever out. Now you can slide the slide off the gun. So just like that. That's just a guide rod. It's on the spring. So you take that out. With the barrel, it doesn't come out like something like a Glock or a striker fire pistol. So what you do is, if this link is up, which it usually is, push it down like that and press the barrel out. Well, first, sorry, you take the bushing out first. So sorry, I haven't done this in a while, but you take the bush out, and the way you do that is you spin it like this. You spin the bushing until that little lug you see in there is lined up with the outside, and then you just pull like so. So it's that simple. And once the bushing's out, now then you can take the barrel and push it. So you press it from the front like this, you push it out. Essentially, that's what you do. So like that, you see? Keep that down because it won't come out if that's up. So that's out. And that's the basic disassembly. Now you can see this gun is pretty dirty. It's not the worst, but you look at that, it's pretty dirty. So check in. Yeah, the barrel, it's pretty dirty, so I have to clean it. So that's essentially how you break it down. And yes, it looks like a lot. You get intimidated by it. If you're new, you're like, whoa, that's a lot. I don't want to deal with that. But it's not hard once you know how to do it. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot to get used to. It's really simple. So the clean, I'll start with the frame. To get my COP, a couple of drops, and take my brush, and I'll go ahead and scrub. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Scrub all around. All the carbon and all that shit off. And then you'll take your rag or whatever you have and just wipe, or your patch. It can be a patch as well, whatever. Get all that out. Let's see. So do the best you can to wipe everything down. Definitely with the feed ramp right here. I'm gonna get that clean so you don't have any hang-ups. I'll need to wipe down in here. Okay, that's about it for the frame. So actually I'll typically wipe on the hammer a little bit, but essentially that's it for the frame. Now we'll go to the slide. We'll just make a couple drop or two in here. And we'll take that brush and go up and down like that. It's a little bit more complicated than your typical striker fire pistol, obviously, but it's not, it's not something that most of you can't handle. Most of you can handle doing this. It's not hard. So since I got more gunk down in there, what I'm gonna do is drop a lot down there. And do some more brushing. Since I got to get in that crevice, I'm gonna get one of my little things that I use, and you can buy one of these, or you can get something like a pick or whatever. But I'm gonna go grab that real quick. All right, so the tool I got, it is this plastic little pick thing. Now I broke this end, but it still works just fine. But this is what it looks like. You can buy these or get something very similar. You don't want anything extremely like tough like metal, because you don't want to scratch the gun up. This plastic won't scratch it. So what I typically will do is take this hook part, right, to get in like the crevices, right, like that. That helps out a lot, So excuse me. So just do the best you can. Like I said, 1911s are a little more finicky when it comes to you not taking care of them, whereas a Glock or something like that can go a while without getting maintained, and you won't have any problems for the most part. But I would say maintain most of your guns as best as you can so you get the best results, out of them. But if you can afford to not, oh yeah, it's dirty up in there. Holy shit. Hold on. So this is where I'll do a little bit of brushing to get some of that, because you don't want to get too much. That's the firing pin channel. You don't want to get a lot of gunk down there. So a little brush. That. There we go. Get some down in there. Get the pick or whatever you got. That works the same. Just realized I just broke that. Whatever. Still works. Still does the job I need it to. Plastic's very brittle, but yeah, just do the best you can. Okay, like I've never had any issues with this not being maintained, but I understand that 1911s are more finicky with that type of thing. So, yeah, so that's okay for now. So we're good on the slide for now. It's good enough for me. You know what I mean? It's not 100% perfect, but it's better than it was. All right. And like I said, you can do this how you want. You can go more or less, So now what we're going to do, since we got those two out of the way, is we'll do the barrel first. So I typically, just like the Glock, will oil the whole thing, keep it oiled. But since I gotta, first let me get all that. What we'll do is put some in here. Okay, and then we're gonna put the brush on. And remember what I said in the beginning, this is a 9mm bore brush, but it doesn't matter because it's enough that it'll do the scrubbing job. You don't want a brush a brush that's too small is not the biggest deal, but a brush that's too big can get stuck. So, but I'll show you, I've done this before. So you just, this is big enough that it actually does a good job, So so that's about it. Let me check and see. It's looking good in there. You can't see like the angle of it, but it's looking good in there. So we'll do a quick wipe down. Okay, that's looking good. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to all these other little pieces. I just scrub a little bit, scrub a little bit. Then make sure you scrub this a little bit. But that's about it, you know what I mean? That's basically it. And then you'll wipe them down. You don't want to let this gun go too long without getting maintenance or cleaning, because the funny thing is, when I did the last video, which was the single action versus double action, I actually, in the middle of doing the video, I realized how dirty it was because I was pulling the slide back and it was like, I'm like, oh shit, because I did shoot it recently and I didn't clean it once I brought it back. So it was very noticeable, and I'm telling you, and this gun has very tight tolerances, so if a lot of a lot of crud gets in there, it could cause issues. So, but anyway, the spring, you don't really need to do much. You can just do a quick wipe down on it. That's pretty much it. So that's the cleaning process. And now we'll just go to the oiling, the lubing process. It's simple. We'll start with the little components first. So, yeah, so I'll just put a couple of drops like I did before. I'll take my fingers, I'll run it all over the barrel, just get oil spread it out. Now there are some key points, like the wear parts in the front of the barrel. Obviously, you got in this lug, this little link or whatever you want to call it, right here, it moves. So you want to get some oil down in here, move it, put some down in here, put it on there, and just move it back and forth and work it in. And then you're good on that. And just rub the rest around. Doesn't need a whole bunch, but I would say more than your average striker fire pistol. That's a good reference, I should say. Alright, now where that's oiled, we'll take this, or over your fingers, or if you have gloves on, whatever, or just take a little bit of oil. I like to put one drop here because that rubs onto the barrel. So it sits right here, if you want to know, inside the gun. When the gun sits, it's against the link like this, so it moves, So anyway, it's that. This, I'm not gonna do too much really. I just rub a little bit on there like that. And then spring, just do this, whatever. Doesn't really need much. Now we'll go to the frame. So what I like to do is I'll put a drop here. Okay. It's actually best to put it at the back, but whatever. Drop there. and drop there. So that covers your rails. So that's that. You're pretty much done with that part. And then for the slide, I typically will put one drop there on that rail, and then one drop here. No problem. There we go. And then, you kind of let it slide down a little bit. So that's covered. Actually, you might want to I'll put one here and then rub it in. So that's how I do it. I'll just rub one in there and then that's it. Okay, there we go. And that's pretty much it as far as the lubing goes. You can do more, you can do less, whichever you want to do, but that's how I do it. Now, putting it back together, this is the part where some people can screw up and make mistakes, okay? So what you're going to do, put that down. You'll get the slide, get the barrel, push the link down, as you see, put it back through. The slide will be upside down. You put it back through the front. So like that, right? Slide it all the way back and it looks like that when it's in place. It'll move a little bit. It's not a big deal. Now what you're going to do, there's other like ways you can do this, but this is how I do it. Put the barrel bushing, you see this? The way you put it on, the little lug right there, whatever you want to call that, that has to go in the top, inside that gap right there. So actually, I want to get that out of the way. All right, all right. The lug goes in like that. You can see that. Yep. So it has to be facing the gap. It won't go in if you have any other way. So it's in the gap. Press it in, push it clockwise. So it's going to look like this. And then I usually will take the spring. Now this is the part, it's important. The spring, the part of the spring that goes in the gun, as far as like against the guide rod, because this is the guide rod. The part of the spring that goes on there is, hold on, sorry, the closed end, or you see how this end's more open, like you see that, but then this end is more closed. You know what I'm saying? The closed end goes in first, like this, right? So you put it in, then you take your guide rod, which is this tiny piece, and then you put it in here, like that, and you push it all the way, right? Now, before I go on, I want to explain that this guide rod did not come with the gun. This is a GI guide rod. Now, most 1911s have a GI guide rod, but this one that I actually bought, my stainless 2, actually came with a full-length guide rod, which runs from here all the way here. So there is a difference, and you need a tool to actually break this down, at least to the part where you have to push the thing. You can't push it with your hands. You gotta use a tool, which is stupid. That's why I got this GI guide rod. So anyway, so yeah, so this is where you want to be, right? And now when you're at this point, just kind of hold on to, so this doesn't fall out. You'll take this part here and you'll put it on top, that, and push it like that. And then we're going to make sure that it's there. So you see the hole. You'll see the hole right here. Look through. You can see that. So now you're good on that. So now you're going to pull it back forward to where it lines up right with the little square right there. You see? So that notch lines up there. So you're looking there. So once it's lined up, a little bit back, that's perfect. Now what you're going to do is take your slide stop lever right here. You're going to put this this end into that hole, and you want to make sure it lines up the hole so you can fit it through. Right? So if you got to move the barrel, then do that if it lines so it lines up. Push it in like that. Right? Now this part is the part where people screw up and they get a what you call an idiot scratch. Okay? So the idiot scratch is when you scratch this down here. I think I have a little bit of one, but it's not bad. But it's when you don't know how to take this apart and you forget how to do it, or not forget how to do it, but you do it in a way that it scratches the receipt side of the frame. So what I do is this. I'll keep my index and thumb for my left hand, positioning it directly in the middle of that spring, because that spring, if you just push, it'll direct you one way or the other, whether it's up or down. So you're going to position it right in the middle. Take your thumb on your right hand and put it underneath the lever so it doesn't go down, okay? And that's it. You press hard so it doesn't actually move when you press in. And then once you got your thumb lined up where you're sure it's not going to go down, you just press in. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's the way I do it. Some people do it differently, but that's the way I personally do it. And so that's how you do it. And then once that is, you pull forward, pull forward like that. And now the last part is you'll put this on the spring. So you'll put this piece right here on the end of the spring. This is the part where you gotta be careful, because the spring could shoot this across the room if you're not careful. So the way I do it is I'll position myself, put my thumb down, I'll push all the way down as far as I can, and then I'll take the bushing, push it counterclockwise until it stops. And when it stops, it will, as you can see, keep it from flying, but I still keep my finger on it just in case. Then you're going to push even deeper, push it in further, and then move it like this until it clicks into place. Boom. So that's how you do it right there. So that's it. And then you're going to make sure you run it the slide. Make sure everything's working, you know what I mean? Make sure the trigger is working. So we're good here. So that is how you clean and lube a 1911 pistol. I'm gonna mention it one more time that if you have a full-length guide rod, I may do a separate video on that, because it is different. It requires a tool to take down, which is retarded as fuck. But I just decided to switch to that because it's easier. So it's, helps me. But that's essentially how you disassemble it. Once again, if you have any questions about anything I did, you just let me know in the comment section, and I'll get to you when I can. And if you got any criticisms, just let me know in the comment section. If I did something that maybe have not been the best, you let me know. I'm not the most familiar with the 1911 platform, but I know how to break it down and take care of it. So, but yeah, that's basically it, you guys. Thanks for the support and everything. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. Like the video only if you like the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.